Don't know if I'ma see you again. Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, and hi if you're new. If you are new and you are not subscribed already, I'm gonna give you until I get up to the black Mercedes for you to subscribe. Okay, I'm there. So you better have already subscribed, because if not, the Grim Reaper will be in your bed tonight. Today I'm going to be doing a highly requested video that low-key hasn't actually ever been requested, but I'm guessing, you know what, Mia? Whatever. The lighting is really random because it's like 8 in the morning, so you know, rising sun, looking like a ghost sometimes, and sometimes you might not even be able to see me because it's so dark. Bear with the earth, because it actually isn't my fault, so don't bear with me, bear with the earth. I'm going to be talking about how I passed my drivers in 2 months. It was my birthday, end of December. I technically done it quicker than 2 months, so I don't even want to hear that from me. Yeah, I do rev my engine, but what? I have a driving license and you don't. My birthday is 19th of December, which obviously is really close to Christmas, so I actually didn't really drive that much around December. Then I passed within like the 1st of March, I think. I'm just gonna give you guys some tips. So firstly, you guys can start revising for your theory whenever you want. I know some people that literally started revising the week of it. Personally, I can't work like that. Like, I'd be stressing myself out. I'd stress myself out if I was waiting until the last millisecond to revise. If you can do that, you can do that. Like, it is possible to do it in a week. I just didn't want to pay for like 2 tests when I could just do 1. Also, please buy, because I'm just a dumb bitch, go onto the government, I'm so cold in my car right now, what the hell. Please go on the government website to buy your theory test. Theory test should only be about £20. I accidentally paid 40. We don't speak about it. Theory test. The app I used was Theory 4-in-1. Personally, I did download both. I downloaded the like official DVLA, whatever. I did buy that one plus the Theory 4-in-1. Personally, I found the Theory 4-in-1 better. I also know loads of other people that use that one. I just hit the curb. Why is the curb there? You'd think I'm a shocking driver, wouldn't you? But I'm actually amazing. Yeah, I know loads of people who also passed their theory test first time and used Theory 4-in-1. Personally, I like that app because for me, visually, it was set out much better. I don't know why the DVLA one, I just couldn't work out how to use it. It is £5, but so are all good apps. I mean, you could do it all online, and again, I'm like talking from different points of views from everyone to help you guys, but I do know someone that did revise and pass first time on their theory test by just using Google. They searched up UK driving theory test 2020 and they literally done every single one on Google. I mean, that is another way to do it if you don't want to spend your £5, but to be fair, like, it's £5. Actually, update, I mean, this is sidetracking for a bit. I did actually stop working because I couldn't fit it in, but I can still do shifts if I want, so I technically am still got a job. Okay, going back on to theory tests. The way I done my theory was I didn't read the highway code, which, fair enough, you should. DVLA, don't take my license away, but you don't need to read the highway code. So the way I revised, the app I used, they do percentages. So like, there's about 300 there's about 300 questions on the whole entire app. Oh, Mercedes, run me over, call me mum. So you can either revise on this app in like categories, so you could do like signs or hazard percent. I don't really remember because it was like a year ago now. Now what I started to, oh shit. What I started to do was do it in like categories first, and then I was like, actually it's a bit dumb because I'm not gonna get, my test isn't going to be a whole category. Do you know what I mean? It's going to be loads of different stuff. So I done mock test, and basically you can set it in the app to questions I've never seen before, questions I've got wrong, random questions. So I started off by random, and then I kept getting like all the same. So every time I done a mock test, I always had it set on questions I haven't answered yet. Probably took me, I done it on the bus on the way to school. Remember to practice your hazard perception, which is like the video and stuff. So dumb. Click on everything. Like, if you see a cyclist 7 miles away, you'll have to point at them. I'm like, well, it's not a hazard because I'm not dumb and I'm gonna ride over a side. Anyway, continuing on. My tip is basically, long story short, I didn't tell many people when my theory test was, just so then if I failed, like, I didn't really need to tell anyone. Same with my driver's test. Have I got any more tips for theory? make sure you're learning theory in the right category. So you're doing a car. In like the actual test, if you're not sure that you've answered something right, flag the question, because then you can go back to it later. And you can also go back to questions after you've answered it. So like you can answer all 50, then go back. And I think you have to get 47 to pass, or 46. 46 out of 50, I think. And in my exam, I stressed, I'm so shocking at exams, I've realised. Like my GCSEs was rubbish. I'm never gonna get out of this junction, am I? I'm gonna have to put out halfway. Day before and the night before my exam, I done a test and I literally got 50 out of 50, and in my actual test I got 47 out of 50. Don't do a mock test on the way to your theory test, because I got like 46 out of 50, which is literally the pass mark, and I shat myself. Anyway, we passed first time. Really weird when I went to the theory centre, test centre I mean. Everyone was really old. Okay, now past the theory test, we're gonna talk about your driving. Personally, I don't think you should start learning to drive until you have a car that you can practice in. The reason I think this is because it gives you more practice, and I think it's more worth your while. So I'm not talking about getting your own freaking Bentley. I just mean get insured on your parents' car, on your uncle's, on your neighbours, on boyfriends or girlfriends or anyone. Just try and get insured on someone's car so you have time to practice, because when you're in your lesson, you actually have like a sense of security, because your driving instructor has pedals. Because I remember the first time I drove in this car, I was all over this place. I was so nervous, but it's just something you need to do. So I don't think you should start driving lessons until you have a car you can practice in. And then also, I know if I didn't have this car, I wouldn't have passed in 2 months, because I would have a lesson a week. Sometimes I'd miss a week, like if I was busy. But I drove myself to dance, and like if my parents wanted to go shops, I was like, yeah, let me practice, let me go drive. It's all about practice at the beginning, because it's just about getting used to it and like whatever. Go out on like Saturdays with my dad. Well, I done it once and I cried my eyes out. The beginning of driving is so difficult anyway. That's just my opinion. If you want to take it, take it. If not, don't. Also, again, another thing, driving is not for everyone. Again, using people I know people who've started driving lessons, absolutely hated it, like it worried them to sit behind the wheel, and they've stopped driving, which is absolutely fine. You can start it later, or you can just, you know, use public transport for the rest of your life. Also, a manual. Some people can't get a hang of a manual. Fine, most cars in the future will literally be automatic. I think why a lot of UK drivers drive in a manual is because we're all racer people. I think a lot of people want to pass in a manual so then you can drive every car, but there's so many options out there. But I do have to say, automatic cars are a bit more expensive. So my driving test, I went through my driving instructor, who was amazing, Mr. Lee. He was amazing. His name's not Mr. Lee, his name's Lee, but he was amazing. I done 1.5 hour lessons a week, or I would do 2 1 hours. I think I only done 2 1 hours like 4 times, as in like in a week, like 4 weeks. Pretty sure I had under 20 lessons, I think, because the last time I stopped counting was like 12 lessons, and I'm pretty sure I didn't have much after that. And I really suggest, if you do have a car that you can practice in on your own, if you know you've learned everything that you need to learn to pass your test, so like you've done all the maneuvers, know how to do traffic lights, roundabouts, you basically know everything, stop doing lessons, because it's wasting your money. Lee is just so good, and like I never would have thought to do this, but he literally suggested it. He was like, I don't want to keep taking your money if you know how to drive, just keep practicing, and then when you book a day, we'll do a lesson the day before. Most driving instructors, I'm sure, do this. For your lesson, he'll pick you up an hour and a half before, you'll do an hour of driving and then go to the test centre. You don't want to keep paying the money for lessons if you know how to drive, you have somewhere to practice, and you don't even know when your test date is now. Especially now that I know it's really hard to get a test date, you might as well just practice on your own. Just don't pick up bad habits. Oh my god, the amount of bad habits. Like look, I'm literally, my hand is at the bottom of the wheel right now. I've got one hand on the wheel. We need to be here. 10 to 10 past. See, that's why I think a car is just so beneficial, because then you have time to practice on your own. In your driving test now, please remember to learn, oh, show me, tell me questions. I got put your rear demister on and turn your lights on full beam. So mine was fine. It was a bit scary though, because I thought I was gonna get some random one like tire pressure. During your test, I really didn't want a woman examiner, invigilator, whatever they're called, because I just feel like women are so judgy. And of course I did get a woman, and she was like this tall, blonde, Russian or Swedish scary woman, and I was like, oh. my maneuver, I had a parallel park, which is like the one where you like reverse into the side of the road. I got my 2 minors there. I only got 2 minors. So proud of myself. I stalled before I reversed because I forgot that when you reverse, you can't lift up your clutch. Thing is though, I know that, I just got really scared. And then I also done the maneuver wrong, so I was like, I'm gonna start again, is that all right? And she was like, yeah. And I saw her write some stuff and I was like, great. So I failed. In your test, you follow a sat nav, which I hadn't really practiced following a sat nav until like the week of. Sat nav was fine. I was really lucky that we were literally going down my home roads. In your exam, take it slowly, but not so slowly that you're going like 20 miles an hour in a 30, because then that's a minor, I think.
Hi. I also just wanted to say quickly that in the test, this is like what my driving instructor said to me. They're not looking for perfect drivers. They're just looking for drivers that obviously are safe on the roads, like not killing people, and like still have time to learn. So that's why they give you minors and stuff, because they just want, because you'll still learn stuff. Like I still learn stuff when I'm on the roads all the time, because you learn stuff from other people bashing into you. Do you know what I mean? They just want to know that drivers have potential and that they are safe to put on the roads on their own. So don't worry, you've got it.
And yeah, just don't tell anyone when you're tested. You can tell them the month, but I don't know, I think just telling people the date of your exam is really unlucky. I don't know, maybe that's just me. So in your test, I think a lot of people think a lot of things are fails. Like if you stall, that's not a fail. The only way you can get a major, I think, is if you've made someone else change what they're doing for you. So for example, if you pulled out, by the way, I don't know if this is true, but I'm pretty sure this is right. If you pull out at a roundabout and you've made someone who was coming this way slow down, I think depending on how serious that is, that can be a major, I think, because you've made someone change what they're doing to not hit you. And also another tip in your exam, don't be doing this to your mirrors, because they'll give you a minor for not having your mirrors in the right place. Because if your mirrors are in the right place, the only thing you need to do is a quick little glance. You don't need to make it obvious. When you reverse, make sure you, oh, that was exciting. Make sure you turn, 6-point check. And also, if you didn't tell anyone your test was that day, then you don't need to tell anyone you failed. But yeah, I passed first time for both, so that's a massive flex. I really need the toilet. What is the actual time? I have 20 minutes to get to school. I don't think I'm gonna be there on time, to be perfectly honest with you. We've finished with this video now. I'm just chatting about my life. You guys are here for an informative time. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm a really bad influence for driving, aren't I? I do hope you actually subscribe, because if you didn't, I'm actually really upset, because why am I still on 100k? Why am I not on 101 yet? I want to get to 250 and I can't even get to 101. You guys are sad. Hey, yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, bye. Oh, you don't like me? That's fine. Okay, bye. I think the car behind me is thinking, what the hell is this human doing posing to a camera in their car? Like, I actually am just making a thumbnail. Blurry. Cause like, we hadn't seen each other in a month when you said you needed space. What is time? I'm telling